In today's video, I'll be using the Harbor Freight spray gun and painting the underside of the hood. Let's get started.
I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay, we work hard, then we all play.
Alright, so today I'm going to be painting the underside of the hood using Magic, which is what we painted the outside of the car with, but I'll be using the Harbor Freight spray gun and my small little compressor. So let's get started. So I already have most of the underside of the hood prepped. I have to wipe down some more with acetone and sand some more spots with some 320 grit, but I'm going to do that and then we'll take this hood off and go put it out back so we can get it ready for some paint. Alright, so I laid it upside down on a little table with a towel there. I'm going to put some tape around this side, the top side of the hood. That way we don't get any overspray on it. I went ahead and sanded it down. Any spots that were exposed with some metal, I hit with just some spot primer, spray can, spray primer. And now we're going to go ahead and mix up the paint and get the little compressor out here and start laying down some color on this. Alright, so we're going to be using Magic's Tractor and Implement Paint like we did in the video where I painted with the electric spray gun. This time I'm going to be dusting off my old Harbor Freight gun. I've had this thing for like 4 years. Has a little water separator and a gauge on it. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to go 8 to 1 to 1 ratio with this. If it's not thin enough, I'll add just a little bit more reducer. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Alright, now that I've got that mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and find the 8 to 1 to 1 ratio. So I'm going to do 5 up to here with paint, 5 up to here with reducer, and 5 up to here with hardener. So let's see how it goes. Now I'm going to add the reducer. Now to add the catalyst, the hardener. I don't have any paint sticks, so I'm using my screwdriver to mix this around. I've used this screwdriver in the past to mix up paint, so there's no grease on this screwdriver. This is what I use to open it and stir with. So just make sure there's no grease on it and you'll be good. Now I'm going to let this sit for a minute because it does say to let it sit before spraying it out of the gun. I'm going to fill this up with acetone and try to adjust my settings outside. Alright, so using this piece of paper, I'm going to adjust the pattern and everything. That way it's ready to spray. Alright, so I have the pressure set at 40 psi. This one here adjusts how wide it goes. I have it where I think it's going to be okay. This allows the volume of paint to flow through. I have a water separator on here, and here's the compressor. I'm just using a small little 8-gallon McGraw compressor from Harbor Freight. So now I'm ready to put the paint in the cup. Make sure to actually use these fine mesh filters to filter the paint. And go ahead and just pour it all in. Make sure to screw the cap on really snug, and then we will test fire and see how it does. Alright, now we're going to spray with the Harbor Freight gun and cheap Harbor Freight compressor. Make sure to wear a respirator or be in a well-ventilated area and at least have a mask on. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying it down. I already wiped it all down and prepped it. so obviously it has way less orange peel than the electric spray gun, which I don't plan on wet sanding and buffing all these curved edges. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do it out of the Harbor Freight gun. But the gun was starting to spit funny, probably because the compressor's really tiny. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this gun out. I'll probably keep the gun just to use it to like paint primer or something, but I'm gonna get a brand new one because this gun's like 4 or 5 years old. Basically just gonna pour some acetone in here, and we're gonna wipe it out. I have an old t-shirt that doesn't fit me anymore. We're just gonna use that, wipe this thing out, and then I'm gonna pull the trigger and let it kind of drain into that cap because there's still acetone in here. Well, this could have been one of my reasons it was spraying funny. There's all kinds of crap in there. This needs to be cleaned out after every single use with acetone. Alright, got this tip cleaned up. This is a 0.14 tip. This is really good for shooting the single stage like I shoot. That and some primers. But now that we got that cleaned, we're going to go ahead and clean this out. Really get a spray gun brush kit. It makes cleaning these out so much easier because this is just full of crap from a car I painted years ago. While that's soaking, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the needle. Just clean it off with some acetone. If that's clean, we can screw it back in. Tighten it down. And we put the tip back on. Alright, cup is clean. Now, the inside usually has a paint dripper in there. I end up removing those whenever I shoot single stage because those things just cause issues. So that's why that's missing. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the gun. Reassemble the needle in there. Now I'm going to put some acetone in, and then we're going to spray it to clear everything out just in case there's anything left. Alright, now that the spray gun is cleaned, this will be my primer gun. I will have a gun for clear, base, and for the primer. I figure it's just smarter that way. I've had this one for 4 or 5 years. It's been pretty good, but tonight gave me a little bit of issue, but not a big deal. This is only an 8-gallon compressor. It did okay. I think I'm gonna take my air bomb and actually run it in series with this one, just so I have a little bit more air pressure. Just hope the motor can keep up. But that's what I plan on doing here shortly after I get a new gun. The hood is over here drying where it's safe right now. After it's cured enough to handle, I will take this and put it back on the car. So I'm gonna clean up out here, and then we'll go put the hood on the car in probably a day or so. Alright, it's been drying, so now it's ready. I'm gonna go put it on the car. Alright, so I got the hood put back on. Get up close so you can see. It has a little bit of orange peel and some fish eyes, but that's from the water actually shooting out of the gun. Even though I had a water separator, it just wasn't good enough. But I did this video because it was requested by quite a few people to do a spray gun video. Now, I did touch these up using spray can the other day, but I will be doing the entire bay in a different video and door jams in a different video coming soon. But I just wanted to paint the underside of the hood to match the rest of the car, and it didn't use much paint to do it, so that's good to know, so that whenever I go to wet sand this entire car down and do one more coat over each panel, it'll be pretty easy to do, I think. Definitely stay tuned though. I will be doing the headlight restoration in an upcoming video, as well as the door jams, because I still have yet to do those. I've just been trying to get everything else done, as you see in my last video, the steering wheel. But I will have the door jams all done, the doors coming off, all that good stuff. And then we'll be doing the engine bay paint on the Texas Honda channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that channel, definitely do so. Link will be in the description so you can subscribe. I'll be putting content on both channels. So definitely stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.
That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.